Welcome everybody to today's edition of Texan Esports. We are going to be wrapping up the first week of NECC play with Overwatch. This is our week 1 matchup after a very impressive showing during the activation series for our Overwatch team. Really looking forward to see what they can put on display here in week number 1. We're going to be starting on Ilios for control. Without further ado, why waste any more time as we head right into the game as both sides prepare to attack the point. Getting a pretty nice difference in compositions here to start out. Our opponent's a lot more poke heavy, while on the Tarleton side, it's kind of their dive hybrid comp with Dampish Penny on the May, which has looked very good earlier this season, as a matter of fact. And he will actually swap to Bastion last second, which is the #1 comfort pick of Dampish Penny. We know him to be a very flexible player, but this is one of his all-time favorites. Fried Rice will be leading the charge here on the Hazard. Very versatile tank. Some very nice dive capabilities. And Mob will actually be starting it out on the Genji. Turret is putting in work on that Nemesis form of Order 16. Dampish Penny not able to close out any kills as of yet. Tarleton began capping the point, but haven't quite finished it. Let's see if our opponents seek to contest them. They will not. Tarleton will finish capping that point. And now we got to figure out what the fight looks like, as no one has dropped yet for either side. But Dampish Penny will actually pick up first kill on the Badger with the turret. That is huge. Our opponents, they might be forced to fall back as Mop chases them down, grabs 2. And he's looking for more. Fried Rice is not going to let this Ramatra escape as they look to stagger him. Berry Drop will actually get the finish. And Tarleton, not only do they win the point, they win the first fight as well and maintain control of that point on Ilios. A very nice start. Seeing some of the elements that work for Tarleton so well here in the activation series are continuing to work for them in this one. Bob now having the window available to him. Bradley's actually gonna, or Dampish Penny, excuse me, is actually gonna look for an ultimate. See if he's able to find a pick in the back line. Ash gonna be forced to use the coach gun to dodge. And it didn't matter. Dampish Penny's still gonna pick that one up. So an amazing opening here. Unfortunately, I saw different colors and that confused me, but Dampish Penny's actually gonna pick up a second kill, and once again, Tarleton just forcing their opponents to fall back off the back of the play from the captain, who's so consistent on this hero. Pop taking a bit of damage, just going to dash out of there real quick. And again, a pick going the way of Tarleton, just completely random. Fried Rice finding a bit of cheese onto Badger. Well done from him. Look at this high ground spot. He's gonna look to dive on this Ramatra any moment. Has the ultimate available to him as well. Gonna section him off from the rest of his team. That is so well played. Berry Drop gonna get the elimination. The communication from Tarleton is elite. And now what do? You're without your tank. The point is at 90%. Mop will fall. So that is an opener, but Fried Rice is relentless in his pursuit. Gonna get traded out, but Tarleton still with 3 members left to defend this point. It's at 99%. Make that 100. Dampish Penny picking up 2 more kills on top of it. Things got a little bit chaotic there towards the end, but the aggressiveness paying off for Tarleton as they pretty much zoned off the enemy team from the point. Unbelievable job to start us out here. Our opponents are Colorado Mesa Esports here in our week 1 matchup. Tarleton with a flawless first point on control. Just complete dominance. They're going to change up the composition a slight bit. Putting Dampish Penny on the Sojourn. Berry Drop on the Lucio for a bit more of that speed to go with their dive composition. Get a few adaptations from our opponents as well, and my screen has frozen. Okay, we are back. That was a little weird. Never really got to take a look at the scoreboard. Fried Rice, the aggressiveness with Mop, but Fried Rice is going to get punished and traded out. So now, Tarleton are going to have to play without their tank. We're going to have to see what it looks like. Berry Drop is doing her best to defend herself. Actually, committing a lot of damage there onto the enemy tank. And Tarleton are even successful in capping the point without Fried Rice. Fried Rice is going to be making his way back any moment now. There he is. And Tarleton, they've done really well here. Dampish Penny picking up another kill. He has been completely dominant early in this series. As the trades are going back and forth, Fried Rice will fall again, but I don't think it's going to matter. Tarleton, they're picking up everything. Mop with a huge double. And Dampish Penny will find the final kill. They lose the point briefly, but immediately get it back. And there's that scoreboard look. Since we didn't get a look. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Even Berry Drop contributing significant numbers to the damage of the team as a whole. Colorado Mesa, they're going to move in a group. Poke away. Nothing yet. Dampish Penny with the overclock at the ready if our opponents decide to commit on any sort of fight. Tarleton, they just stand their ground. Now the Kitsune is going to be invested by Berry Drop, along with the overclock. So here comes the chase from Dampish Penny as he looks to find any kills. Hasn't found anything yet, so the respect being shown, but it doesn't matter. The head blown clean off a stubby crane. And Dampish Penny's not done. He's going for the second support. Mop picking up a kill. And that is a complete cleanup from Tarleton. And what a start to Ilios. Just electric, giving Colorado Mesa no room to breathe. Using those ultimates incredibly effectively as well. And Fried Rice, he's in a kind of a cheese position to try and pick up an easy kill. Along with him and Mop working in tandem together. Mop doing a bit of baiting, landing a bit of damage onto the Bastion. Might decide to commit the blade here, we'll see. I mean, Prune just seemed completely caught off guard, and here comes the blade. Mop picking up a second kill. How much more can he find? There's the Nemesis coming out, but it just doesn't matter. A team wipe from Tarleton. Ilios, it's all over. Tarleton, they're going to win it 2-0 and go up 1-0 overall in the series today. It is all gas, no brakes for the Texans today. Prune just seemed completely caught off guard by Mop's blade. And Fried Rice even popping the ultimate of his own. Secure just a complete team wipe, and I guess we're going to get to see that here. There's the ult. Yeah. Unbelievable job. It seems like we are going to be cutting it to a short break as one of our opponents needs to restart. But nevertheless, nice map for Tarleton. They lead in this series 1-0. We'll be right back at the start of the second map. Don't go anywhere. Seems we didn't have to do too much waiting as we are back here on, I believe the map name is Atlas. It's not one that I've seen before. It must be a little bit newer map from my time here on the server. Might be doing a bit of exploring before our teams assemble their compositions and we head into the next game. I believe this is Flashpoint, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken though. We're gonna see. I mean, look at this. Ain't this interesting? Colorado Mesa are busting out something entirely different, as they did not like the result of that game number 1. We have Reaper Sombra in the mix, along with Zarya, who was banned actually, so having that available to them this game must be quite a relief, as it counters a lot of the tanks that Fried Rice likes to play. And I imagine Tarleton, knowing they're going to open on Zarya, they're going to open themselves on Rhine. That's a bit of a way of hopefully dealing with that. I was correct, this is a Flashpoint map, so here we go, without wasting no more time. Fried Rice will be leading the charge with his hammer. Mop's going to choose to stay on the Genji for now. Dampish Penny matching the Reaper in kind. And even Bob bringing a Moira into the mix. Love to see that. I mean, look at the fire strike from Fried Rice to open us up. He's going to completely disrespect the bubble. Dampish Penny was actually taken quite low there, but he's going to get to stay alive. This hammer is really zoning off the entirety of Colorado Mesa, as they have no way through this choke point with Reinhardt standing there holding ground. And as well as the Reaper shotguns, just so much pressure, and they're going to choose to pretty much just shoot the bubble every single time, as you have a ton of burst damage. And Dampish Penny finding first kill onto Prune. And that is massive. Fried Rice has already almost charged up the Shatter entirely. I mean, what is the way in here if you're Colorado Mesa? You seem to really be struggling to find a way past this Reaper. I mean, Zarya is going to commit onto the fight, but likely going to get punished. Rhine charge doesn't connect from Fried Rice, but it may not matter yet. Order 16 goes down, and Dampish Penny finding a second one. He's going to continue the chase. There's the melee. Dampish Penny, he wants more. Kiri with no escape, no way out, but actually Alkies to hit the shot. Incredible job by the support to hold their own, but it'll be Bob with the quick and easy trade, and Dampish Penny should be back in plenty of time. Tarleton, they're close to capping this one. You have the Shatter available, as well as a few other ultimates. We'll see if Tarleton chooses to elect anything, or if there is even going to be a contest from the enemy team as they look for maybe a potential flank angle. Mopeth. Kitsunes are popped by both sides, as well as another follow-up ultimate. That is every ultimate in the books coming out for both sides. Chaos unfolds on the battlefield, but it's Fried Rice to come out with 3. Make it a 4th for Berry Drop. Fried Rice looking for the last. Dampish Penny will clean it up. Tarleton, they hold their own against 4 ultimates from Colorado Mesa. I mean, the Reinhardt pick from Fried Rice is really doing them a lot of good here on the map of Atlas. Wish I saw a few more of those kills, and I was talking about the Shatter, and I decided to skip off of him for unknown reasons. We're going to get a swap onto the Echo and the Ana. Really, Colorado Mesa busting out everything in the books. I guess Echo a bit more difficult to deal with for Genji. That is a pretty nice EMP from Prune. He's going to get traded, but he drops Fried Rice in the process. Bob going to pop the Coalescence to try to keep the rest of his team standing, as this fight still looks pretty good. Dampish Penny looking for the cap, but obviously there's going to be a contest here with Fried Rice not in the mix. And Tarleton, they're going to choose to play respectful. This Zarya is doing a massive amount of damage. Fried Rice in the meantime has made his way back, so the fight is not over yet. Neither team has capped point. Dampish Penny doing everything to break those bubbles. And Mop having the blade available to him. We'll see if he chooses to invest it here. He's going to go immediately on the back line. Ana's in danger, going to go down, but traded out. And Fried Rice going to pick up a second kill in the meantime. That is the tank down and the point captured for Tarleton. Meantime, Dampish Penny has managed to charge up another Reaper ultimate. Death Blossom at the ready. See how he chooses to play it. He likely wants to remain undetected and look for a potential flank angle. As you see here, he lets the first one pass. There's the Kitsune investment, and we might be seeing a Death Blossom from Dampish Penny. Suzu's not going to save you. He does get hacked, so he has no way out. He is traded. But Bob, Fried Rice are not going to give Colorado Mesa any way in. Bob's going to pick up a second kill on the Moira. as it is looking good for Tarleton. Of course, the ultimates are going to be available for you. So you have the grab nano combo on the side of Colorado Mesa, as they might look to invest it here. Get a quick look at the scoreboard. Dampish Penny leading the way with 14 kills on the side of Tarleton. But here we go. Final fight, likely for point number 2. Should be massive if Tarleton were able to take that one over. Fried Rice is going to get hacked, taking a lot of damage, and he's put down. And you look at the nano and the grab invested is in complete cleanup. Bob's just going to scamper his way off of the point. Tarleton, they're going to give this one up. With those 2 ultimates being invested. Well, actually, I said the nano was invested. Actually, they were able to hold on to it, so only the grab was used. Pretty well played from our opponents, only having to invest 1 ultimate and getting the point back. Let's see what Tarleton choose to do in this situation. Fried Rice, a few percentage points away from being able to use the shatter. He's got to stay out of the line of sight of the Sombra, because him getting hacked is almost a death sentence. Zarya's going to be taken down pretty weak. Tarleton just walked their way to the point. In the meantime, Dampish Penny has picked one off. There's the EMP. Berry Drop's going to be in a bit of trouble, but it looks like all the members of Tarleton were able to survive. There's the pin from Fried Rice, pushing the Nano Zarya off the map. Bob Coalescence finding impact. And Tarleton, they're going to get the second point, 1 away from securing Flashpoint on Atlas. I mean, a Nano doesn't matter if you're being shoved off the map by a Reinhardt. So quick thinking from Fried Rice was able to pretty much negate that ultimate entirely. Dampish Penny, we're looking at another Death Blossom here. He's practically getting 1 or more even per point. As he looks for a potential flank. The cast of Mop's gonna land a few headshots as he looks for this Echo, and he's gonna get the finish. Nice shot from Mop. And Dampish Penny completely harassing the backline, giving Ana no chance to play. He wants more. The charge from Fried Rice won't get the kill. It is, in fact, the guns of Dampish Penny blazing Fried Rice with the fire strike, coming through to finish them off. Colorado Mesa, they look like they have no chance as Tarleton. They're just playing too well off of each other, as they look to close out Flashpoint in flawless fashion tonight and go up 2-0 in the series. Kitsune at the ready for Barrier Drop. You imagine we're going to see, I mean, Dampish Penny is just completely unleashed here. Prune has been taken out before the fight even starts. Just an absolute menace is Dampish Penny, as he continues to go in 1 versus 5, has the Death Blossom. Just giving them no chance. They're completely zoned off the point. We're looking at 70% already, and there's just been no effort. There's a Kitsune, counter Kitsune pop from Barry Drop immediately. There's the copy from Echo. I didn't really see who she grabbed there, but a lot of the players from Tarleton taking heavy amounts of damage. Mop would be the first to follow to Order 16. Follow up onto Dampish Penny. Fried Rice stands no chance. It's just the supports. Barry Drop and Bob are looking for a way out, and it seems like they're going to be able to keep their lives. So point is going to be recaptured by our opponents, Colorado Mesa and Tarleton. They're going to look to regroup and make their way back. Mop has unlocked that really overpowered silver bullet perk on Cass. If you're able to hit that shot, you can deal massive amounts of burst damage. That bubble ain't going to save you, Badgers. Dampish Penny's on the chase, looking for the flank angle. Pretty good movement from Badger, though, to escape that one, but Dampish Penny's still going to be harassing the supports, taking Alkies down to 1 HP and getting the kill. Bob with the Coalescence, also finding a second one. Quick reposition. Fried Rice taking down his counterpart in Order 16, the enemy tank, and it is just Badger taken out of the sky. And Tarleton, they clean this one up with ease. 100% flawless on Flashpoint. They lead this overall series 2-0 as they look for the win here in the next game. I mean, there's truly not too much to say. Fried Rice going to get play of the game once again as we get to see it. Oh, and that's that massive shatter that I didn't get on screen. So I'm glad I'm getting to see it now. The quick triple from Fried Rice. And the win for his team. Alrighty. Shouldn't be too long of a break once again. We'll be right back in just a moment as Tarleton look to look to win this one in 3-0 fashion.
Switching, no speed limit, chrome heart dripping, writing my wrongs, writing that picture, future so blurry, couldn't frame it with a filter. You sort of don't know how to act, baby. Need some money in the city where the bags are. Took her out of work and now she never going back to it. Said it feels better when you come and put your hands on it. Oh yeah, don't got no money so you spending mine. Back to LA and now we going up. Came from the back and now we in the fun. Still in the club and now you know we letting time fly. Can't stop, won't stop, hit the skyline while everybody else flies, cause I'm down right. Keeping things on lock, I'm about mine. Sipping on the proof shots and time fly. Can't stay in one place, we been outside, going at it all day till it's nighttime. Now I can't see straight, but it's alright. I'm doing things my way. I'm going, I'm about mine. I'm going in one way. I'm going down, I'm going down, I'm going. Vibing, driving, four-wheel driving, smoking at the house, I can feel the heat rising. Time spent, wilding, need a psychiatrist. Your lies ain't a price, baby, I am not buying it. Can't stop now, got too much motion. You hide your emotion. I'm fully loaded. Don't ever lie, I'm just a drop in the ocean.
Alrighty, guys. Tarleton, they want to close this one out 3-0. As we could look to end things here on Push Esperanza, which we played in both activation matches, I believe. So this is nothing new for us. We are very experienced on the map and trust in our composition. We do have a tank substitution. Just wanted to make y'all aware. It was Order 16 subbed out for Pegaweegi. Say that all in one go. So Colorado Mesa seeing to try and make some sort of adaptation to their roster, trying to give themselves a better chance to come back in this series. Tarleton, they want none of it. Fried Rice finally getting a chance to pull out the JQ after his banned in the previous map. And we're actually getting a ball. So apparently this tank plays a bit of ball. That's going to be interesting. See if Tarleton deal with that one. Obviously, Dampish Penny's going to be starting on the Sombra, so that's a decent counter, you imagine. We're also getting our first look at Hanzo in this series from Prune. He hasn't pulled that one out yet, so really, we've seen pretty much everything in the book from Colorado Mesa at this point, as they seem pretty flexible and willing to try anything to try and come back in this game. Tarleton sticking to what they know. Dampish Penny's just going to look for the hacks on the ball permanently, as you probably would expect here from the Sombra pick. Ball is going to go ahead and slam down, get taken down pretty low. Fried Rice picking up an opening first kill on the JQ. That's a great knife, and Mop with the finishing blow. So that's already 2 down. And Tarleton, they're going to continue to push forward. This ball is just kind of being a nuisance. Dampish Penny's going to connect with the hack. You have no escape. Pegaweegi down. It is looking rough for our opponents. Colorado Mesa, they're on the back foot having the runaway. Fried Rice is going to do a bit of chasing, a bit of zoning. And Texans have almost reached the first checkpoint. Here comes the push. We got in a swap onto Winston. Shot almost lands there for Mop. Fried Rice continues to just make sure these players don't get anywhere near the point, near the objective. Eels are going to try to keep Fried Rice alive, and they're successful in doing so. Well played by Bob and Berry Drop to combine for that. And Fried Rice, he's still up and still shooting. Dampish Penny will fall to the headshot from Prune. So we go 1 for 1. Mop will go down, but in the meantime, Fried Rice has ran down their tank. So this JQ is going to be a problem, but the point's going the other direction. So there's a lot that has to be accounted for. This Juno is solo pushing the point. Fried Rice is going to get in front of it and bring that one to a hold. But I can't even really tell which team has the advantage at the moment. Seems like the Texans are just going to look to regroup, however, as we're once again in the 5 versus 5. Deadeye's going to come out from Badgers, try to zone these players away. Dampish Penny getting closer and closer to that EMP. There's the Kitsune from Berry Drop, as Fried Rice and Mop find kills back to back. Fried Rice with a double, as he's going to go continue looking for more. That Winston is hacked. He's going to have to jump away last second. Fried Rice continuing to chase, but he's not going to grab him. In fact, it will be Mop to actually catch the fleeing Pegaweegi. That's going to buy Tarleton even more time, as they still have 4 ultimates at their disposal to use at any moment. They just seem like they're in complete control of this game, map, and series. Tarleton just going to have to stagger their ultimates here. Try and close this one out successfully. There's one ultimate, and Bob's going to counter with the Coalescence immediately. Try to keep these players up. There is the Rampage from Fried Rice, and a Rampage is exactly what he's going to go on. As he has these final 2 players kind of running for their lives. Winston, you are not escaping. Nice shot from Badger on the Dampish Penny, but I doubt he's going to get anything else. Bob will get the kill. And Tarleton, they're in the home stretch of closing this series out quickly. Mop with the overclock available. He's probably going to look to invest that one here. Dampish Penny's going to be rotating back quickly with the EMP. Winston, so that's going to stop the slide of Mop. Well played from Colorado Mesa to pretty much block the movement from Mop and prevent him from escaping. Tarletoners can continue to press the back button. They don't want to get caught out in this position. Fried Rice looking for a bit of healing from Berry Drop. He's going to get it now and get TP'd. Now Tarleton is all grouped up. Mop's going to be looking for a solid ultimate. But in the meantime, Fried Rice has actually gone down. I'm not sure to what. Mop has been able to connect that second shot, but he is immediately traded out. Deadeye's once again going to get invested. Dampish Penny is going to choose to back off with his supports. And finally, Colorado Mesa are going to be pushing the bot forward as Fried Rice looks to come back from out of spawn. Still having these ultimates is Tarleton. I imagine you're going to want to use those here and not waste any more time. I mean, Berry Drop is almost cycled back to another Kitsune. Let's see it. There's the... That looked like a solo EMP from Dampish Penny. That one did not work out at all. Kind of a tough moment for him. Knife does land onto the Winston. Not quite enough damage from Fried Rice, but he has the Rampage. Let's see if he chooses to use it. There's the Brigitte ultimate. Coalescence is going to be the thing that finishes her off. Bob's going to continue to rotate over to his team. Mop has been caught, but I believe the trades are going in favor of Tarleton, as it's just the Winston left on point. Dampish Penny on the Bastion now. We'll get that frag. You imagine Pegaluigi could never stay on the Winston here, knowing there's a Bastion. But he may not know yet. The second he does, he will be in for a nice time, I'm sure. Tarleton's still maintaining a pretty significant lead. There is the Soldier ultimate. But he's going to get zoned off from the rest of his team. Berry Drop's actually going to get caught first. And that might be where Tarleton have to retreat. And unfortunately, Fried Rice, he can't escape. He will go down. So Tarleton, they may lose a bit more progress here as they wait for their entire team to come back. And Mop's actually going to get staggered as well. So things are looking a bit more dangerous now as Colorado Mesa, they have a bit of momentum. And they're able to capture that first checkpoint. Fried Rice definitely going to be looking for an angle to use this Rampage. As Dampish Penny just tries to force the Winston off of height. And he's going to be successful in doing so as that turret dealing massive amounts of damage. Fried Rice is actually caught by the High Noon, the Deadeye. So wow, Tarleton are actually giving up a lot of space, and Winston having the ultimate available, he is playing incredibly aggressive. Dampish Penny busting out the turret, and here we go. Judo ultimate going to be used to counter. Coalescence is dealing a good amount of damage to the enemy team. Bob's going to be forced to fall back. So much chaos going on, but Rampage is only going to connect onto the Winston, it seems like. And I mean, it's really not looking good. Fried Rice, he's gone down. And our opponents, they're getting dangerously close. They have a Kitsune of their own. We imagine a counter Kitsune could come through from Berry Drop at any moment. There you go. Tarleton, they don't want to lose progress, but they have lost the lead. Another Deadeye for Badger is going to land onto Dampish Penny, but it looks like the trades are going in Tarleton's favor. Fried Rice will fall again. This Pegaluigi seems to be a bit of a problem here on point. Here we go. Eventually they're going to concede the space, but they've been successful in getting the lead back in what seemed improbable. Tarleton, they had so much control over this game, and it's pretty much just disappeared out of their grasp out of nowhere, which can happen to Overwatch. Mop, he's been completely caught with his pants down. Bob's going to fall as well, so Tarleton with a huge disadvantage, but Dampish Penny and Fried Rice, they're fighting back as much as they can. Going to get 2 kills for their trouble. But still, the push, it will not stop. As Tank and both supports remain standing for our opponents, Colorado Mesa. Tarleton, they're going to be looking for some kind of miracle as they try to work their way up to another coalescence. Have Dampish Penny's ultimate available to also try and sway a fight. Mobs actually found a nice shot, a good opener onto Badger. It's going to be huge, and Tarleton wanting to push this one forward with only 40 seconds available. There's a Soldier ultimate as they look to try and combo him, but Prune, he's finding big value, takes down 2. Dampish Penny's going to look to fight back. As Fried Rice taking heavy amounts of burst damage, the Winston going to look to jump on him, not going to land it. But Dampish Penny's still going to be shooting back. Fried Rice has gone down right before the Juno ultimate is popped by Alkeys. Tarleton, they're going to have one more opportunity to fight this. They're going to have to get a touch onto the point. We'll see who ends up doing that. It looks like it's going to be Dampish Penny. Great shot onto the Juno. Tarleton, they still have an opportunity here. But the Winston, he seems to be such a problem. There's the ultimate. I believe it's just Fried Rice left as he has to go in 1 versus 5. And it's not looking good. Our opponents, Colorado Mesa, all credit to them. They've turned this one around. They're going to take push. Maybe even the tank substitution contributing a bit to that success. But a great map from Badger, arguably, as he puts up big numbers on the Cassidy. 12.5k damage. Tarleton, they're just going to have to regroup and recover for the next map. That was a little bit of a rough one. We're going to cut it to a short break. We'll be right back for the start of map number 4. Tarleton, they lead 2-1.
you want me to say? I got that extra money on the runway. Go hard all the way, up into outer space. This is how we rave, party every day. What you want me to say? I got that extra money on the runway. Go hard all the way, up into outer space. This is how we rave, party every day. What you want me to say? I got that extra money on the runway.
Alrighty, without wasting any more time, we're heading into Gibraltar for map number 4. Tarleton, they lead the series 2-1 after kind of a bit of a comeback win from a revitalized Colorado Mesa roster. Tarleton, they maintained about like a 80-meter advantage at one point during push. Colorado Mesa were successful in bringing that one back when they pulled out the Winston. So some really good stuff being shown from our opponents there.
No, I will snap it in half with my final breath.
Heading into Gibraltar, Tarleton will have to get their bearings again. Try to not let this snowball out of control. Momentum's kind of a huge thing in any game. And you imagine after a comeback win like that, Colorado Mesa are going to be feeling pretty good heading into this next game to try and pull off what could be a reverse sweep in this series. But if you're Tarleton, you got to remember you're still on map point. So if you play well, you can end this thing here. And now Prune, he's completely caught out. I don't think he has any coach gun. They're going to be forced to invest the Immort to save his life. That was really nice from Fried Rice. As he's shown, he's been very effective on the hazard so far in this series. Damage Penny in the meantime has gone back onto the Reaper, which I'm sure they were glad to have that one banned in the last map with the Winston causing major issues for Tarleton. Badger's going to find first blood onto Bob, so Tarleton, they're going to be playing at a disadvantage. They might need to pause the push if they want to play this one out. Dampish Penny is going to be in a bit of trouble, but he actually has managed to remove D.Va from mech. Gets hindered for a moment, but a quick reposition is able to keep himself alive. And at this moment, Bob has made his way back into the fight. So Tarleton are once again in a 5 versus 5. There's the Deadeye. Dampish Penny looking for a quick flank angle. Gonna be forced to invest the teleport early, and nice shots there from the Ash. Stubby Crane gonna get the finishing blow, and both DPSs from Tarleton are immediately dropped. Fried Rice is gonna have to hightail it, using the jump to get out of there. And with his 2 supports, they should be able to survive this one, but they're still getting chased. Getting chased really deep into their own base. Fried Rice taken down weak, but nobody falls. And wow, Badger's actually going to land another headshot onto Mop. This guy has been unstoppable as of recently. Fried Rice even choosing to invest the ultimate, going to remove Prune his berry drop. He's trying to kite out this Bob. Dampish Penny with a huge ultimate. Bob is still causing a bit of issues for Tarleton, but Dampish Penny has removed everyone effectively on that other side. It's just the D.Va remaining. Let's see if Tarleton have the damage to deal with her before the rest of the team comes back. It's Fried Rice to try and look for the D-Mech. There's the ultimate. As we once again have another 5 versus 5. The action just doesn't stop. That's both support ultimates for Tarleton invested, as they really want to come out on the top of this one. Fried Rice continue to poke Prod away. Dampish Penny doing a bit of the same. Has his Wraith cooldown, going to force D.Va out of mech. Finally removing her from the fight. Fried Rice takes out Badger. Dampish Penny even picks up a second one. And wow, after what was an intense first point, a lot of back and forth action, as no team was completely wiped out at any point during those fights. Tarleton will eventually win it out. Unbelievable. Kind of sad I missed the Death Blossom there from Dampish Penny, because that was a massive ultimate. Huge in turning that one in favor of Tarleton. A quick ray from Dampish Penny, and he takes out Badger, so removing the counterpart DPS gonna be huge. As Tarleton look to continue to push forward. Mop has his ultimate available. D.Va's gonna actually get D-mech'd once again in Fried Rice with the immediate elimination, so this is looking a lot cleaner for Tarleton now, as this should be all but a 3-second point after that kill. Fried Rice committing pretty hard onto this, but should be okay. Even the Immort invested just to make sure from Bob. Dampish Penny's actually been found, but it doesn't really matter. Tarleton, they've captured the point. They continue to look for more. Hazard ultimate at the ready. Fried Rice, Dampish Penny rejoining with the rest of his team. There's the Hazard ult. Countered immediately by the Juno. Mop even investing those dragons to try and gain a bit more chip damage. But he's doing his best to avoid this D.Va, but D.Va's all over him. He has no way of surviving this. Dampish Penny even looking for a Death Blossom angle, but he might choose to buy his time as Badger has found Bob with the Deadeye. Berry Drop will fall as well, and it's just Fried Rice. He's going to have to retreat into his base as he waits for his team. And this is really going to all be on Dampish once the next stage of this fight kind of happens once again. They have rooted him out, though, so he's going to be forced to get away. And with no Wraith, he's going to have to wait a few seconds before he looks to try anything. Fried Rice has actually elected to play Zari here. It's kind of rare we see him bust this one out, but Tarleton, they're just going to look to blow up the Bob. Kind of a questionable ultimate there from enemy Ashe. They're doing their best to keep him up. And they almost were able to... I said it was a questionable ultimate. They were almost successful in taking out Fried Rice in the process. Even Berry Drop taken pretty weak. So it almost worked out for them. I mean, this D.Va's continuing to be a menace in the back line. There's the ultimate. But Mop has actually found the punish. So while D.Va was demeched for that brief moment, Mop was able to land the shot. So this is a huge opportunity for Tarleton to push forward. As Bob looks to land those headshots on the Prune, takes the Ashe down pretty weak. There's the window. Almost kind of a solo window for himself to get as much damage as he can possible, but he's going to get punished for it. I'm not too sure about that play, as the rest of the team wasn't able to really play off that one, and he just kind of gets picked off for free. Now Tarleton going to continue to buy time. Dampish Penny's been holding on to this Death Blossom for some time. He really hasn't been able to find a good angle for it. As now that's Badger's ultimate. As he looks to create some space for his team. Tarleton, they're going to try to kite this one out. Bob has rejoined the fight. And there's Juno ultimate countered by Kiri immediately, but Prune and Badger have found picks. There's the Blossom from Dampish Penny, finding huge impact. And Fried Rice is going to continue the chase. Badger getting the elimination, but it doesn't matter. It is a complete team wipe from Tarleton as they look to try and secure this one. It's just Badger versus Dampish Penny and Bob. Badger doing what he can, but it's Dampish again to find even more value. Dampish, he's not stopping. That's the bubble, but with the Zarya in the mix, it's going to be really difficult for Bob to live. He cannot. And Dampish Penny, he's going to continue to get chased a little bit, but him and Mop have managed to survive for now. Mop, maybe with a flank Deadeye. The call is coming in for Tarleton. But Stubby crying, wasting no time, takes him out. Even Dampish Penny getting found by Badger in the end, so 50 seconds left to go. You have a few ultimates to work with. If you're Tarleton, a big grab could be influential in turning this fight. Prune with the Bob, ready to counter. There's the first grab. It lands on the 3 players, but they seem to be pretty protected. There's the Bob and the Deadeye. Try and counter this one. Badger diffs Mop on the Deadeye as he pulled the trigger faster. And things are really looking dangerous now as Badger is completely unleashed here. He finds another kill. Both supports have been dropped. I don't even know if Tarleton have time to gear up for one more fight. As Berry Drop and Bob are still down, Fried Rice has to find a way to touch, but he's 200 HP. He has no way of getting healed up. He's looking for the touch, but down he goes. That's the grab. Tarleton, they're done for. No one has a touch. And we're going to have to hope that this was enough of a push for them to try and secure Gibraltar. Pretty well defended there as we went into the last turn. Dampish Penny with an incredible effort. But it just wasn't quite enough. We're going to see if capping those first 2 points will end up delivering Tarleton the win, or if Colorado Mesa continue to build on this momentum that they've had after game number 3 of this series on push. Just kind of look at some of the numbers here. Badger once again putting up quite the performance for his team. Mop struggling a little bit, sitting at a 3-7 score line. Tarleton gonna look to regroup and recover this.
How's it going?
Mop's even gonna open up on the Ashe this time.
How y'all doing?
Pegawiji's gonna bring the ball out once again.
How's it going?
So here we go.
A wanted man on the run. I've known a few of you.
I'm only guilty of stealing hearts.
Guess it's a good thing I'm heartless.
Damage Penny on his trademark Bastion pick.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Here we go. Things are getting underway now. This ball might end up being a bit of a problem for Mop. There's pretty limited mobility, especially very easy to come to the dives playing Ashe. So you have to be wise with how you use your coach gun. Mop's gonna be taken down pretty weak, down to 40 HP. Looks to reposition, keep himself alive, is able to do so successfully. Turret comes through from Dampish Penny, takes Prune down to 1 HP as well as the ball, so big value there from the turret. Even getting a significant amount of ult charge. We're looking at 80% now. It's Tarleton, they try to just keep high ground. Keep their opponents from pushing any further. There's a slam from Ball, but he seems to be in a bit of trouble. He's kind of cornered by the entire team of Tarleton. They're going to look to chase him down, and they grab him. So with that kill, Tarleton are looking a lot more comfortable to defend this one for as long as they can. Penny even investing the ultimate now to try and get a free kill. Anna, you got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. She gets nuked by Dampish Penny. Stubby Crane is taken down. In the meantime, Mop looking for the shot onto the Juno. Doesn't quite land the kill. Coach gun. Stay out of trouble and get into a better spot. Bob has the window at the ready to try and support his team. Mop's gonna be taken down pretty low, but he gets to keep his life. Meantime, Fried Rice, they're just trying to wait out this Deadeye. Ball's just being a bit of a nuisance in the back line. And here comes the Bob from Mop. Doing a huge job of zoning. There's a kill onto Stubby Crane. So a nice opener, forcing the entirety of the enemy team down back into the pit. As they're really struggling to find a way through this choke point. Dampish Penny with the drop in the flank. Prune's in trouble now. Fried Rice hasn't spotted him yet, but eventually will turn and get the kill. So Dampish Penny will go down. But a quick trade. As we're looking towards the final fight. Both support ultimates at the ready. You imagine those are both going to get invested here. For Tarleton and the other side of things. For Colorado Mesa. But at this point, it's all about who wants it more. Ball's in a bit of trouble here. Mop takes him out. That is a massive opening pick, and they even investing the Kitsune. It's a huge win for Tarleton. Now, unfortunately, you don't have that ultimate anymore for this next fight. But they have just bought themselves at least 30 more seconds here on this first point. All thanks to the overextension of Pegaouiji. I don't think he realized the amount of damage he was able to take getting up close and personal with Dampish Penny and Fried Rice. But here we go. He has that ultimate available. There's the first one. Fried Rice gonna try to section them off of this. By using his ultimate, and he actually gets the elimination. He's taken down very weak and eliminated by Bob. Dampish Penny looking for another snipe from his ultimate. Nano has been invested as well. He's not gonna find any value there. In the meantime, though, Mop is still shooting back. He gets one into Badger. And I think Fried Rice has been able to rejoin his team now. Pegaouiji in a bit of trouble, but gets the elimination on the Dampish Penny. Quick trade by Fried Rice. This is the final fight as time is run out on the clock. Just everyone on Tarleton doing what they can to try and prevent this capture. The tank has gone down. Mop landing the shot. Gets a second. Here comes Mop. Finally his time to shine. Fried Rice getting another kill. Tarleton, they're going to close this one out. it was looking dangerous for a while, and you got to give credit once again to our opponents for making it a lot closer than it was initially. But Tarleton eventually are able to win this one out. They take Gibraltar. Series over. They win it 3-1. Dampish Penny with the play of the game. This is for sure undoubtedly that Death Blossom that we get to see here as he goes inside of the whole team and eliminates 3 players there immediately. Just absolutely insane stuff out of the captain as he played great all series long. But Tarleton, they are 1-0 in NECC play. What a day from our team, from our Overwatch team. Thank you guys so much for watching pretty much this entire week. We'll be back again next week for more Overwatch and everything else in between. We have CVAL and CLOL on the weekends. If you want to tune into those streams and support our teams, don't hesitate to do so. But as far as NECC goes, we'll be back again on Monday with Valorant. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been B Jord. Peace out.